Chapter 33, Private Practice and the Good Years. By early 1998, the long drives to Clinton were behind me, but the restlessness remained. After the bureaucratic knots of Duplin-Sampson County mental health, I knew I needed to build something of my own, a space where compassion didn't have to pass through committee approval. The idea of private practice was no longer a dream. It felt like a necessity. Around that same time, I was serving as president of the New Hanover chapter of the North Carolina Society for Clinical Social Workers. Each month we met in borrowed conference rooms to share cases, trade ideas, and argue gently about theory. Those evenings gave me a sense of belonging I'd never known as a child or a student. Peers who cared about the same questions, colleagues who listened. Chris Haig often attended. He still carried the calm authority of a mentor, but now his tone toward me had shifted. One night after a meeting, I told him I wanted to start a practice of my own. He smiled. "Use my office when I'm not here," he said. "Just cover the hours you use." For the next 2 months, I did exactly that, learning the rhythms of independence. The first time I locked the door after a session, I felt both terrified and alive. Everything, income, reputation, the trust of strangers, now rested in my hands. By late March, the math was undeniable. Paying by the hour cost more than renting my own space, and the steady stream of clients made the leap seem possible. One evening, I spread the figures across our kitchen table. "I found a place listed for $500 a month," I said. "What do you think?" Lynn studied the sheet, then looked up with that mix of practicality and quiet pride. "You're ready," she said. "Let's go see it." We spent Saturday morning driving around Wilmington until we found it. 2 rooms on Chestnut Street, sunlight spilling through tall windows, the hum of other offices in the hallway. The walls could use some color, but I hardly noticed. I was already imagining clients in the space, imagining the work continuing there. "What will you need?" she asked. "A couch, a desk, maybe 2 chairs for clients and 1 for me," I said, half laughing at the simplicity of it. "Yard sales," she said, smiling. "We'll start there." Within days, we'd found everything we needed. Chairs, a sturdy desk, a couch solid enough to last, and a lamp that softened the room. Lynn's quiet confidence helped me feel good about the choices. Her validation mattered as much as the furniture itself. By April, I was renting my own office. That evening, we went out to dinner to celebrate. Not extravagantly, but with the shared satisfaction of knowing this was ours. Clients began coming in steadily, drawn by name recognition, my website, and simple word of mouth. The practice grew faster than I had dared imagine, and the city that once seemed saturated with therapists now felt wide with possibility. Earlier, I had seen a hypnotherapist myself to work on a couple of small but stubborn phobias, a lifelong fear of giving blood, and another I've long since forgotten. In one of our early conversations, he'd meant well when he warned me that Wilmington was already full of therapists. I was proving him wrong, and I knew he'd be happy to see it. Looking back, I think the growth came not from luck, but from connection. I could hold on to clients because they felt seen, understood, and respected. Bureaucracies had frustrated me, but one-on-one, I knew how to listen. Even in a crowded field, empathy was my advantage. People came back because they felt safe. Before long, I was able to take on a few pro bono clients as well, those without insurance or means. It wasn't charity, it was balance. Serving everyone, not just those who could pay, reminded me why I'd chosen this path. Through 1998 and 1999, my schedule filled. I balanced sessions, paperwork, and the quiet satisfaction of building a reputation built entirely on trust. As president of the local chapter of the North Carolina Society of Clinical Social Workers, I attended and facilitated bi-monthly meetings where colleagues discussed ethical challenges, difficult cases, and the realities of clinical practice. It was both grounding and energizing to sit with people who were committed to the same work I was just beginning to master. Every so often, I helped organize a continuing education workshop, small gatherings meant to support clinicians in meeting their requirements and staying sharp. My own continuing education went far beyond the minimal standards. I sought out training on ethics, boundary setting, therapy techniques, and the diagnostic patterns I was encountering in my growing caseload. I wanted to understand as much as I could, not just for the sake of competence, but because the work mattered to me. I was passionate and dedicated to being the best therapist I could be. Lynn saw that clearly. She'd wander in from the next room, checking on me while I read late into the evening or finish notes I wanted to get right. Her steadiness made the hard work feel natural, even meaningful. We still visited Pennsylvania to see her cousins, and they visited us. Life was ordinary in the best possible way, rhythmic, shared, unhurried. On Valentine's Day, she kept up her playful tradition of surprising me with something daring from Victoria's Secret. It always sparked the same rush of excitement, the same feeling of being wanted and chosen. She'd invite me into the bedroom to see my gift, already smiling because she knew exactly what effect it would have. She loved the way I responded, how quickly the outfit she had just put on became an afterthought. It was a moment that affirmed us both. She felt seen, and I felt lucky. These were the good years, the practice steady, the love steady, the home alive with quiet joy. Whatever storms had come before, for now the sea was calm.